Yo, yo, yo. What's up, Fusion? Well, today's blog is going to count for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday because we got something really, really cool going on. It's the second official Fusion on Tour date. Today, Saturday, is Get to Know Your Neighbor Day. And so the reason why we're doing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday is because maybe you're not going to be able to exactly do it on Saturday. Maybe you got to work or whatever it is. And so we're spanning this thing out. But what I want you to do is be very intentional over the next few days to get to know one of your neighbors. Maybe that's just a connection point. Maybe it's a 5-minute thing. I don't want it to be like a 30-second thing. I want it to at least be a few minutes of you getting to know one of your neighbors or multiple of your neighbors. Summer and I, this upcoming Friday, we're having a big cookout for our cul-de-sac, having everybody over. Probably going to have like 15 to 20 people up in our house. We're grilling hamburgers, they're bringing sides, and we're just hoping to really make some connections with people that are gonna kind of trickle down to hopefully further conversations with them about Jesus. I know some other people within Fusion, they're going down to Publix or Kroger, just buying a bunch of cookies and taking them out of the box. They aren't big cooks, taking them out of the box, and they're going to warm them up a little bit and put them on like a little plate and take it over to neighbors and just kind of knock on the door and talk with them for a few minutes each. I know some others who, they live in an apartment complex, and I know for those of you who live in an apartment complex, you're wondering how in the world am I going to kind of get to know my neighbors, because in an apartment complex there's always that weird thing of, I don't want to invite, like, if you're a girl, you don't want to like invite him over because his girlfriend might come over and like cut you or something, something like that. You don't want to have Jerry Springer going on. And so I know one person who, they live in an apartment complex, and so they're like making little gift baskets, and they're going to go to a few doors, maybe on their level in the apartment complex, and just kind of knock on the door and give them something, and kind of try and get to know them a little bit there. And again, with the hopes of in the future, that one little interaction where you're just kind of breaking the ice there, because maybe you've lived in the same place for a year or months or multiple years, and you really don't know that person. Maybe you've just seen them in passing, and you do the nice wave or the head nod, and then you walk into your door, and that's it. But the Scripture tells us to be a light everywhere that we go, that a city on a hill can't be hidden. But many of us, we are kind of hidden in our apartment complexes or in our neighborhoods. People just see us and, hey, there's the nice couple, or there's the guy, or there's the girl, and there they are, But we're called to make an impact everywhere that we go. We're called to carry the fragrance of Jesus with us. In fact, I love a C.S. Lewis quote. He says, "The rule for all of us is fairly simple. Do not waste time bothering whether you love your neighbor. Act as if you did." And so I know maybe in prayer or something, or we read a scripture and we're asking ourselves, man, do I really love my neighbor? Because Jesus tells me to love my neighbor. And I think C.S. Lewis has some really good advice for us. He's saying stop bothering and praying and saying, man, do I really love my neighbor? And just start acting like you really do love your neighbor. Like you really do care for them. Maybe that's for you, is you baking some cookies and taking them next door, or maybe inviting them over to your place for dinner. Maybe it's just one apartment, or maybe it's your whole floor. Just invite them over to your place for dinner. And tell them, hey, if you got a girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, bring them. We just want to have like a big get together for our floor and just get to know each other. You live in an apartment, in a neighborhood. Invite your neighbors, maybe your immediate neighbors, 3, 4, 5 houses. Invite them over just to hang out. Or maybe if you just say, man, I'm going to do it today, have somebody from your small group come over. There's always Howard in numbers. It's a little less awkward in numbers. Maybe knock on the door, take them something, and said, hey, I know we see each other, at least several times a week when you pull in or I pull in, but we really have never really talked. And so I just wanted to just kind of bring you this, say, hey, I know you're here, I'm here, but I just wanted to say, hey, I'd love to get to know you a little bit more. Maybe we could have dinner or something this next week. We're having a few people over, whatever that is. Just break the ice, because really the ultimate goal is here that not that the heavens would open, and the angels start singing and salvation comes to the house, and that would be amazing if that happens. I'm not doubting that, but the ultimate goal here is that you're planting a seed for a future conversation. Maybe it'll happen that night, but maybe it won't. But you're planning something that something's going to happen further down the line. I just got off the phone with Eric Davis. He's posted a few blogs on here, and he actually did this last night. They knocked on their neighbors' doors a few nights ago and said, "Hey, do you want to come over for dinner?" It just so happens it's just kind of like this interesting dynamic over there. This one guy's wife, he's getting ready to go back to Iraq. He's a soldier, but his wife is living in that house, and his best friend is also living there, and so it's really weird. And so they were all there, but also another friend was there, and so they all ended up coming over. And these guys are newlyweds, and he's getting ready to leave, and so they just kind of got in a conversation about that. The other guy got in a conversation that he has a 2-year-old daughter, and he's in the middle of going through a divorce, and so they were just able to kind of talk to him just for a few minutes about that. And it was just kind of funny story to hear Eric talk about it, because they weren't trying to like hit him over the head with Jesus, but just trying to work it in a little bit, just here and there, and a little bit of the conversation. And their little 5-year-old daughter, Trinity, walks up to the table in the middle of dinner and says, "Hey, everybody, raise your hand if you know Jesus." and Eric and Sarah are like, and nobody else at the table raises their hand. And they're like, "All right, Trinity, I love you. Go back to the kids' table." But maybe something like that will happen with you. But guys, the ultimate goal here is just to have some fun. Get to know some of the people around you. Just don't hang out in your Christian circles. What I loved about Jesus was he went to the dying and the hurting and the lost. He didn't just hang out in church. And so that's what we're really about here during Fusion on Tour. Jesus went to a Matthew party. Matthew, the tax collector, became his disciple through a big party of sinners. And Jesus went to that. And so I invite you, just invite some people over to your home. Engage them with the gospel of Jesus Christ, and whatever that looks like. It could be a hamburger. It could be a cookie. It could be actually the literal words. But at some point in here, man, what we're about is shining the light of Jesus. And so do that some point in the next few days. Be very, very intentional about doing that. And again, we're going to post on Tuesday. This one's going to last for Monday too. This post Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Have multiple interactions with these guys if possible. And man, just let Jesus shine through you. God bless you guys. Look for your divine opportunity and shine the light of Christ.